I have got my parts from Rock Auto for the new fuel injectors. Poppy, don't help too much, please. Yes. So here is the fuel pressure. Poppy, don't do that, you ding-a-ling. Here, go stick that out. Go get it. So here is the fuel pressure regulator. CM5296, also known as HU2Z-9C968-A. Here is the new inline fuel filter. It actually looks smaller than the ones I've had, but it is made in the USA. And Poppy is still helping. Any open box is her property. Okay, good girl, good girl. Yeah, that box is making your butt look a little bit small, Poppy. These are the Delphi injectors. And I chose these because they are a little bit cheaper than the Motorola, or not Motorola, but the Motocraft injectors, which are about 170 a piece. And here we go. Okay, there we go. There's a pretty nice magnet for Rock Auto with a 55 Chevy on it, and there's the magnetic back on it, so that's cool. I like that. There's the paperwork. Okay, and no real information about it, but let us see what we get here. Hi, Biddy. Now, let me get the injectors out of there. Okay, there's an open one, but they're sealed. The injectors are inside of bags. What are you chewing on? Get out of here. That's not a toy. It's not for you, you stupid. Here, see if that box fits better. Come on. Okay. So these Delphi injectors look just about like the old original Bosch injectors. So let us peel this open. So this one has the same 4 injection holes. If you look in there, I think you might be able to see it. Let me turn the light on to assist. So you might be able to see that it's got 4 little holes in there. And then if you look down inside of here, you might see a screen in there. Okay. And then there's the 2 flat prong connectors for the electrical input. So there is the quick part update on these things. Delphi Technologies FJ10093. These were $77 each. Poppy has decided that she does fit in the box. Good girl. You're such a good helper, Poppy. Such a good helper. Girl. Girl. You silly girl. You silly girl. You're so darn cute. You're so darn cute, little one. Little baby. You're so... Oh my goodness, what a ferocious beast. What a ferocious beast. Meow. Meow. Silly kitten. The fuel pressure gauge has been sitting here for about 2 hours, and it started out at 30 psi, and it has only dropped to 25 psi in those 2 hours. So tells me the injectors are holding their pressure. I'm going to start it up and it'll go to 32 psi. Then I'm going to pull the vacuum line off the regulator, and that will bring it up to 40 or 41. Then I'll replace the vacuum line. It'll drop back down to 32. Then I'm going to hop back into the truck and rev the engine up and see what happens to the pressure then. And then I will idle the truck for about 30 seconds and then shut it off, and we'll see what everything does. So hang on. There you've got 32 psi at idle. Vacuum line back on. Should drop down to 32. Now I'm going to go rev it with the vacuum line on. Okay, so now the engine is off and we are at 28 psi, and it may raise back up to 30 here as the fuel in the fuel rail warms and the injectors warm. As you can see, there is no drop in fuel pressure when the engine is off. So that means that none of the injectors are leaking. I'm going to start taking the fuel rail apart now. Okay, and then I'm going to release the fuel pressure here. Button on the side, and you can see the fuel goes down through the clear plastic hose. The fuel cap is here somewhere. Put that back on over the Schrader valve so that nothing gets down in there. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to undo these here 4 little bolts, 1, 2, and 3, 4 on the other side. I'm not going to disconnect the fuel lines because we don't need to. All we have to do is lift up a little way on this. I'm going to just set the fuel pressure gauge off to the side. Let's get started on it. This shouldn't take very long at all. So all we need here is the 5/16 socket. And here goes this first screw. There's 1, 2. Okay, so there you see that's loose. Let's get this side. And should be able to do that by hand here. Okay, get the back screw. Okay, fuel rail is all loose now. So all we gotta do is lift up, but I'm going to remove the fuel pressure regulator. Okay. So we have our retaining clip, and we'll put that over here. Hopefully it won't hide on us. See, there it is. Now we'll try and gently remove the pressure regulator. Okay. And there we go. Okay. 9C 968A, 9C 968AD. So yeah, should be good. Looks like it's right about the same thing if you look at it in there. Okay, so first we are going to change out the spark plugs around the engine here. So we have 8 of them, and of course the pipe for the air cleaner is right in the way. I'll just unclip this. Alright. After that short GoPro failure, again, we are going to remove the spark plugs. And so you take your little, what is that, a 7mm socket, put it on the screw there, and loosen it. Pull the screw, put it someplace safe, pull the coil. Coil looks good. Drop the socket down there. Loosen it. Okay. So these are about maybe 3-year-old platinum spark plugs. They should still be good, but since the truck's been running like crap, I'm just going to change the plugs and injectors and everything. Pull out one of the new plugs. And let's compare the gap. I mean, there's almost no difference. These plugs should technically be perfectly fine still, but out with the old and in with the new. And just to make sure you don't cross-thread them, run them in by hand. Cross-threading spark plugs is not good. These heads have been improved. They have they've been reseated for the spark plugs, so you can put these plugs in tighter than the old ones, but you still don't want to run them in too tight. So I just run them in until they have a good solid 15-pound torque, something like that, just tight by my reference of many years working on vehicles. Okay, but I think that if you have a spark plug that has not is not going into the improved head, then you probably want to get the torque wrench out, and I think it's like 12 to 15 inch-pounds of torque. So there's one, and let's see how. All right, now that's not good. Water leaking across from the intake manifold, because it don't smell like gas. But you know, if that is engine coolant, that could easily be the cause of my sputtering. So you can see that there is a bit of wetness down there. So potentially that could have been the whole problem right there. But you can see that the plug was firing clean. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's got a white anode on it. Of course, that could also mean that it simply wasn't firing as it should have been. But I am committed to new injectors. Okay, we're ready for the new plug. So what we are going to do here is seal the boot so that water or fluid will not go down there again. This is the first time that this cylinder has ever had liquid in it, and it's funny because the one in front of it didn't have any in it. Okay, so we are just going to put silicone around the rim here. Next time I pull this out to service it, it'll pull up. Don't worry about that. Okay, down the tube. There. so that'll seal that. Okay, so this one is dry. So we're going to compare the two new injectors here. You can see that I will line up the injectors, and you can see that the old injector protrudes down lower than the one on the right, the new injector. But if you look at it, the cap on the old injector is longer, and you can see that the injector holes are down deeper in the blue cap. So the new injector by Delphi, and this cap looks like the caps that used to be on the injectors. If I remember correctly, I'll have to look at my old injector rebuild video to remind myself. But anyway, you can see that the spray nozzles have to shoot out farther through the blue cap than they do on the new red cap. So yeah, we're going to put in these ones here, and hopefully that will make a difference. So I don't have any silicone grease, but I do have a little bit of 1030 oil, and I will just use that. And that should get these things in there just nice. Okay. So this is going into the back hole, all the way back there. Okay, we are in. Let's get this next one. Okay. Oh, that's not good. The injector tip's not coming up. Let's get the next one. This one didn't come out either. Alright, so that one came out. Okay, so I just need to get a little hook tool to go down and pull out that. Got the one O-ring fell off outside, so that's not a problem. Okay, so I'm just going to shut down the camera here for a bit, and then when I go to press the fuel rail back on over here, I will show you that. But otherwise, I'm just going to pull out the rest of the injectors, change the rest of the plugs, and that'll be it. Now we are going to install the fuel pressure regulator. Okay, so that is the new regulator, and we've got it oiled up on the O-rings, so let's put her in. Now, that was easy. Okay, now we've got the retaining clip and my spreaders or closers. Stick them in the hole there and close it up. And it's in. Sweet. It's a little bit more mobile than I thought. More easily twisted around than the old one was, but okay, so we are back together on the left. We can put the left side stuff together now for the air cleaner. And you see the butterfly in there. I wonder if I could get a larger one, something that admits more air anyway. First we gotta get this over here. Yeah? Oh, that's his job.
Water.
Harry.
Good barking. Probably checking out the new holes he can see. What you doing, bud? Oh, look.
You scared him off.
Not a long time ago, but
I'll make sure to do a double check with some stuff.
Okay, so there you go. Everything's all nice back together again. We got the new fuel pressure regulator. That was very, very simple to change. The fuel injectors are all swapped out, and that's very simple to change. Just undo the 2 screws on top of the fuel rail. You see one of them just right there above my finger, and the other one is right there above my finger. And then it lifts straight up, and the injectors may pull up with it, or they may just pull out, and then you pull them up out of the head. Then the injectors have a little cap on them, and sometimes that cap might stick in the head, and so then you need to get a little probe tool to dig them out, which I will show you when I find it. But you know how things like to hide. Okay, so this here, so you can just go and stick the probe down in the head, or the hole for the fuel injector, and then there's a hole in the center of the cap, and you just get it in there and pull up, and it may just pull out anyway with the point sticking into the plastic. Okay, so very, very handy tool to have. This here comes in a set of like 6 or 8 pieces. Napa and Shucks has got one, or O'Reilly's, Action, they've all got one. Okay, so now we're going to do the right side, and that is, you see here, we've got the fuel injector, spark plug, fuel injector, spark plug, all the way back, and of course the farther back they go, the more fun they are to reach. Alright, so not really much point in recording these, because you seen one, you seen them all. Okay? Okay, so this fuel rail is ready to pull, so I'm just going to lift it out and show you how easy it is. We took out the screw here and the screw there, and then we just pull up on it. And you see these injectors, some of them came up, some of them didn't. I turned the injector a little bit and pull straight up. And okay, so there you see the O-ring and the cap stayed down on that one. So let's get our little probe tool here, and okay, I'll get the O-ring first. Oh, I got the little plastic disc, so I'll put that here, and we'll get the O-ring. Okay, put the O-ring over there, and now we'll get the disc. And you see the hole in the middle of it, and let me get the hole there, and up she comes. Okay, and we'll just put that over there with the rest of them. Let's see what we got here with the next one. Okay. Alright, so this one came out complete. So that's good. And what about the next one here? Okay, that one came up with the rail. So let's pull it out of the rail now. And, okay, so that one we lost everything on it too. So now let's go and probe out the disc O-ring and the plastic whatever. Let's see if I can get down here. Okay. It gets harder to see the farther back you go. Okay, there's the ring. There's the O-ring. And now for the cap. Okay, there's the cap. Oh, all right, there's the last one. Let's hope everything comes out okay on that, because that would be the hard one to clean out. Oh, good. Got lucky. We got the whole thing came out that time. Okay, so let us, I guess I might as well pull the spark plugs while the fuel rail's out. That'll be a little easier access. Okay, so, yeah. Then I'll show you when I reinstall the fuel rail. All right. Okay, so we've got these front two injectors back in. All the plugs have been changed, even that hard to reach one way in back there. So now you can see the hole for the injector there. And we have just put some 1030 oil on these O-rings. And basically we are just going to slip the injector into its hole there and push straight down after we turn the there, and you hear it pop down in there. And we're just gonna line up the plug here, hold the injector, snap the plug in, and that's it. Okay, one more injector to go. Alright, let's see if I can reach all the way back in there and get this one in place. This is the hardest one. There. Injectors are in, so now we are going to on the fuel rail. Let's see if I can get this one-handed. Line it up over the injectors and push down. Okay, and there you see the hole is lined up in there. Okay, so now I just gotta find the screws for it and tighten things down. So this would be nice to get back on. Got everything done except for the fuel filter. The fuel filter does not have to be done right now, because I did change it not too long ago. So I think we'll be okay. Okay, last screw. And there you go. The fuel rail is tight. The injectors are in. Let's get all the plugs connected. All the spark plug coils are connected. Everything's connected. Now to add extra joy, my flashlight fell down into the shroud. Now how the heck am I going to get that out of there? All right. Yep, anything that can make it more fun will happen. Murphy's Law. And incidentally, when I dropped my flashlight in behind the, in front of the fan and behind the radiator in the shroud, this is how I got it out of there. I was able to lift the front of the flashlight, slip that loop over it, and then pull it tight and yank it on out. Mother of invention comes through again. Okay, contacts. Actually, let's prime the give the fuel pump about 3 primes. Now we'll start. Okay, 1200 RPM, and the pressure seems a little bit low. It's only at 30 there. The valve is not leaking. pull the vacuum line over here. And the fuel pressure should pop up to 40. So it does hop up to 40, just a shade over 40 on that. Something is still missing. A couple of nice little revs. Yeah, something's missing. All right, so we have finished working on the engine, and I took it down to get the transmission looked at, and they couldn't look at the transmission until I put new coils on, number 1 and number 6. See there, I have a new NGK ignition coil there. The next one has a Motorola, and the one after that has a the NGK. I got that at Napa, and the other one without a label on the top, that is also a Napa coil. I don't know if it's NGK. And then the last one is a Motorcraft injector too. But you can see all of the new fuel injectors in there, bright yellow. And the truck is running very, very nicely and smoothly. You can see over here is the other new NGK right under that hose there. Of course you can't see it because I want to show it. But it has 2 Motorcraft and 1 other old Napa ignition coils on this too. And so anyway, the engine, after I put the new coils on, it still ran a little rough. And after about driving it for half an hour, it started to run really, really nice and smooth. So let me go start the engine up, and you can hear how smooth it is. Okay. So you can hear how smoothly it's running. You hear the air conditioning compressor kicking on and off. So very, very smooth, almost no idle vibration. And you can see the fan sinking in and out with the speed of the video camera. go and listen to how smoothly the exhaust sounds. So remember, before it had a pop sound, and now it is just nice and smooth. No popping. But what we do have is it has a very, it smells like steam. You don't smell fuel in the exhaust anymore. Okay, so that's good. So anyway, this was a big success. $839 for the new fuel injectors, fuel filter, and fuel pressure regulator. And there's the fuel pressure regulator up there, just behind the hose to the left. Okay. And once again, you look at that engine and it is just as smooth running as can be. You see my nice big new aluminum radiator here with a double-sized core on it. It's double the size of the old core, made in Thailand, but all aluminum, and it's working very, very nicely. Okay, so that concludes this episode. Fuel injectors, ignition coils, spark plugs, and fuel pressure regulator. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it valuable, useful, please do subscribe, please do like, leave a comment, ask a question, and I will see you on the next video, which should be replacing the air conditioner shroud on the truck camper AC unit. Okay, thanks for checking in, and we'll see you on the next. And incidentally, these are the ignition coils here, NGK, and there is the part number for them.